podcast.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Yeah. So what are we
Yep,
doing
we're
for the
done.
intro? So we just
Oh, what? I thought that was the end.
should we do like in unison, sing it together?
Welcome to the Gay Man Pod.
This uh welcome to the parentheses insert name here parentheses podcast. If I come up with a name, it's going to be very badly edited into that slot.
Snip out the parentheses.
I did say the parentheses.
But you gotta edit them out.
Oh, I don't have to.
That's what you just said.
Boop. Podcast. Boop.
It's the podcast. That's what I'll call it.
All right.
So, yeah.
This is great.
This is the great, yeah.
This is good.
This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. Just kind of shooting the shit.
Oh, are we starting?
Yeah,
We
we've
started in a minute.
shit.
Well, I thought that
Okay.
was the point. I thought you were gonna say we're starting now, and
Oh, okay. Goddamn.
Okay, we'll start it once it hits 2 minutes.
wait, why? Wait,
I'll cut it at 2 minutes when I edit
it
this.
just keeps going. There's like 7 audible cuts that everyone can hear.
The Gay Man Pod.
I'm gonna call it the podcast. Why not?
Ooh, you,
I like that name. Very straight to the point.
Yeah.
Very clear and cut.
you munching? Are we munching? Is this-
Dude, screw podcasts. We should do ASMR.
yeah, I bet no one's ever done that before.
Yeah.
Never before.
Okay. 2 seconds.
What if instead of like doing like a normal talking podcast, we would just do shit like this, where it's an ASMR podcast and we communicate like this?
Well, we're recording now, so I guess that's what we're doing.
I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Yeah, well, you did it, so I mean, it's now
It
part
would
of
make
it.
a good gimmick. It would pull so many numbers.
Okay, settle down, ladies. All right, welcome to what I'm gonna call the podcast for now. I have two of my what?
The PP.
Can you
The
quit
PPC.
fucking interrupting me, bitch?
Right.
Anyways, today I have 2 of my friends. Do you guys want to do names?
I'm Silas. I'm the top one. I got top billing because I went first.
He is the top dog. And then I have my friend Leo.
Hi, what's up? I'm Leo. I'm here.
Yeah, he's just here sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who let him in. He just kind of
I don't
appeared.
really know how I got in here.
Yeah.
I took a left on the wrong turn.
You gotta watch out for the signs, buddy.
I know. God, confusing as hell.
Anyways, this is just this is something I just wanted to do to record the times of 2021 and 2020 of just how fucked this entire thing is. Like, holy shit, who would have thought I'd be living through so many major historical events that my kids will be learning in textbooks?
Yeah,
It's insane.
It's pretty crazy.
No,
I had to move for the internet. I have bad internet in my bedroom, so I had to move into my old bedroom of my house to record this so you guys could hear me better. And I was moving into my old bedroom, and this is where I was set up when we first started online school. So setting up to record this was kind of like, it was almost like it's weird to have nostalgia for something that sucks that hard, but it was like back in April when we were doing this for the first time, and it just felt weird.
That is crazy. In a month or two, we'll it would have been a year of this entire thing. March 16th marks the date that we were like, oh, it's a 3-day weekend, let's go. And then they're like, oh, 2 week flatten the curve, guys. We're gonna do it. 2 weeks later.
I was just like thinking the other day, like, do you remember what you were doing in August or July? I don't remember what I was doing. I know it happened probably, but I can't like discern anything I did then.
Time just
I was
like
making
kind of
sandwiches
together. It's just really weird because my cousin came and then I had hung out with friends like maybe once, but that's the entire thing.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, we had practice and we hung out then, but that's all I've done to hang out with my friends. But I'm probably not going to do that until March, just because things are getting so bad.
So yeah, how does since we're gonna be quirky and relatable, we gotta relate with the kids on the street
Quirky
smoking.
and relatable. That's a little bit. How can you
I
be
can only do
both of
one,
those
dude.
things?
I
Okay,
can only do
I can
one.
either be
You're asking,
relatable or
you're asking a lot here,
so
dude.
quirky.
we'll be relatable. We'll be hip with the kids. All right, we smoking
I
crack
like
on the
that.
street.
I like that.
All right.
We're doing Molly these days. Anyways, like, like how I don't know how to. This is weird. This is let's be relatable, hip with the kids. How fucked have you been throughout this entire lockdown? It's been almost a
How
year.
fucked have I
How
been?
fucked have you been?
That's
How
kind
many
of what
times
I'm
have
saying.
you been listening to Frank Ocean and just started crying in the club for no reason?
Oh, at least. No, god damn it, Leo. Passing it on. We're all
God.
coughing now. This is called the parentheses cough
Yeah,
parentheses
we were avoiding it.
podcast.
We were avoiding the virus so well up until now.
This is
Finally
so
caught up
Hmm.
yeah.
to us. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 7 on the fucked scale. You know.
7 as
Well,
in
maybe more like now the more that I'm thinking about it, and the more I've gotten used to it, probably more like a 5. Stuff has been really boring, and you feel very isolated pretty much every day. But also, I feel like some pretty decent stuff has came out of quarantine, at least for me. So I'm doing. I could be doing worse, but I could be doing a lot better.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's the thing. Like, I wonder is like, there's when I've talked to different people throughout this entire thing, I got video games, I've got music, I've got so much stuff to keep me entertained. But I also like, I wonder about the people who don't have things like that, who just go on TikTok for 8 hours a day. I want to know how they're doing. I want to know the
Oh
people
yeah,
who spend just countless hours on like Instagram, TikTok, shit like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder to what extent it's really different. Wow, we got munchies and we're
shut the
This
fuck up,
drinking
podcast
dude!
is
I
sodies.
got
so
something in my
fucking
throat. I
stuck.
gotta get
Been
it out so I
drinking
stop
sodies.
coughing, dude.
That's why you have water on standby. You don't go for snacks.
Oh
This
my
isn't. It's
god.
canned water, dumbass.
you drinking? What are you drinking?
Who the
Liquid
fuck
death.
drinks canned water?
Shut,
Liquid
dude.
death.
This
Better than
this is so
plastic
scuffed.
water
This is
bottles.
so fucking scuffed. We gotta get this shit on lockdown, boys.
Canned water,
And that
We're
brings
not
us
even
back to
5 minutes
right next to
in.
canned bread.
canned bread.
Yeah,
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
that's a thing. Yeah,
What? Why? What's
I'm
the?
not sure. It's people.
Is it just
I've
help
seen it in
preserve it?
Japan. Like there's a thing in Japan. I don't know why. I think it's
Hmm.
this kind of the same idea behind like spam. You
It's
know,
the same.
for some reason it preserves it longer.
It's the same idea behind those hotels where your whole bedroom is just that tiny little pod, and you're basically sleeping in a shelf. It's like let's make it as compact as possible because
Yeah, yeah.
that's what they're all about: strategy and making the best use of their space.
What's really weird about it, I was just kind of. It's weird though because like I don't know much about canned bread, but like I wonder if like you know how bread has a lot of air in it. I wonder if you take the can like the bread out of the
Mm.
can and it kind of like
Expand.
inflates as the air fills it. You know?
Ooh,
Mm.
that's a good point.
Like
You
like
ever
a
like
sponge.
do like you get a plastic bag and you do the you suck all the air out of it with that like vacuum thing. Like my grandpa will do that when he makes like sausage and stuff. Like you put bread in the bag and you suck all the air out of it. Just
Yeah.
Doesn't
poofs
that
up.
just ruin the bread though? Because it's compacting it. Like if you were to take it out of the
Oh, I bet.
bag, it would kind of be like this kind of amalgamation of just bread.
Yep.
I don't. It's yeah. It's weird.
I also
I don't
just
know much about canned
I like to
bread.
point out that we went from talking about how fucked we are about coronavirus and people on TikTok for 8 hours a day to canned bread.
Let's
All within
go.
the span of like
Simplistic
30
bread.
seconds.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
span of
we can
like,
podcast, dude. We can do this.
What's something else? What's something else?
we don't have structure.
Uncut Gems. That's a
No,
movie.
we don't talk about Adam Sandler.
Oh,
I think that's my one rule about this podcast. We're not going to talk about Adam Sandler. Hey guys, I'm Adam Sandler. I do the wacky shit with friends. That's
that's
I'm
him.
that's
yelling
Adam
and I'm
Sandler. That's
angry.
Adam Sandler plays the same fucking character in every movie.
He always has to have some line where he's like he hurts himself and he's like, "Oh my balls!"
Oh, oh, my acting career. Oh.
Happy Gilmore was my best movie.
uh,
Now we're a movie
God,
podcast. Let's do movie reviews.
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn it.
Fucking cover!
Shut up,
We
bro.
need to. Oh my God. We need to get this. This shit is just not working out for us.
My first swear of the podcast is me yelling at you, stop coughing in my dumb voice. That's one
Uh,
thing that we need to not do is don't do any of our dumb voices that we do all the time.
Oh yeah, and we
yeah,
gotta
other
not.
people
We
aren't gonna
can't
get
use any
that.
of our dumbass lingo though, too.
Oh
I think
yeah.
one thing we shouldn't do on the podcast is talk about what we shouldn't do on the podcast.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
But we've already lost. We've already failed.
We've already
There's
lost.
no going back now.
There's no going back. This is gonna be podcast alpha. This is the first release. I'm sorry to anyone watching. If you made it this far,
Yeah.
congrats. You get nothing.
You lost.
You
Lost.
lost. Effectively, you lost.
Yeah, I feel like a first.
Not only did you gain nothing, you lost
Yeah.
something today.
You won't know. You won't know what until you need it.
Yeah, I feel like for a first episode, you need like at least a half hour, right? Half hour to an hour. We got 10 minutes in
Well,
already, baby.
yeah, but we
We're
started
doing
at 2
good.
minutes, so we're only at 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, unless you just keep the first 2 minutes.
I might just keep the first 2 minutes. That'll be our pre-show. That'll
Yeah,
be for
we
the.
suck at this, so that'll make it
We
easier
really
to
do suck at this. But one thing I
time.
think we got going for us is that we know how to talk and we're not stuttering too much. I hope. Uh,
You are doing that
you
on
need to
purpose.
shut
No, I am not.
fuck
I'm
up,
sorry.
you goddamn.
I'm sorry, dude.
God damn it. We're getting
But-
no re-listen. People are gonna listen to this and never look back.
Yeah,
Okay, quick, we gotta be insightful.
we gotta be insightful. So talk about yeah. So other ways with locking down. I was talking about before when we guys first started. We kind of touched on it when we first started doing online school. Were you guys at all kind of almost excited to do it? Because I remember when I first did it, I was a little bit nervous, and it was kind of the thing like, "Ooh, I get to see my friends again, at least a little bit," because we'd been locked down for about a month at that point. Were you guys at all excited, or did you know it was just gonna suck?
I was a little excited just because I was like, oh, school in sweatpants? Let's go, gamers. And then once I actually saw my schedule and saw that none of my friends would be there with me, it just sunk me to the ground. And I automatically just thought, well, this is no different than regular school. Let's just get through this.
So is
We
it
also,
really not worse for you than regular school, other than just not having classes with your friends? Is it about the same to you?
it's about the same because I'm still going to procrastinate. I'm still going to wait till the last minute to do stuff. It's just this time they were a lot more lenient due to the coronavirus.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it is different. It's a totally different environment. Do you like wish we were back in school? Even if you don't have as many classes with your friends, just going to lunch, walking through the hallways, just being around other
That's
people is really
that is
nice.
a big thing because there's so many different things that can distract you while you're in an environment at home. I'm sitting here listening through math about my math teacher going on about Fortnite, and I can look over to my right and I got my guitar. I'm like, I could be playing guitar right now. Or I look over and see this Xbox controller. I can crank some 90s on Fortnite. I mean, that was a joke. I don't play Fortnite. Yeah, but it's just
Shit, they're on to you.
there's just so many different things about it that I think I would rather be in person school rather than in my smelly gamer room.
Yeah. What about you, Leo?
Um, I don't know if like going into it I was excited, but I was maybe interested. I don't it I was definitely looking forward to something like getting back into school to some extent, you know. Uh
Yeah.
I would say though, the curiosity once online school started though, the curiosity and intrigue was just instantly just slapped to the floor because I realized how terrible and boring and monotonous and painful it is. I just I hate I God, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was actually better last year or if it was just I had not been forced
They
to
were not
put up with
they
it
were
for
not
as long.
very structured.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. We didn't have to do it as long.
Yeah, I like to do it more because I feel like it was less structured. But teachers, like at least for classes like my math class, it was very much how we normally took notes. The lectures were still the same. There were still like we played some games, even though games suck anyways when you're in school. If you're a teacher, don't do games as don't rely on games for your class to be fun
Yeah.
because that means you're just a bad teacher and you're bad at talking to people. But
Well, yeah, and the thing is, like, also last year when we went to online school, we kind of went into it with this mentality of like, well, we got 2 months of school left, so we need to do something. So we'll just
yeah,
do this online school thing really quickly, just to get the year over
buy
with
us our
really quick.
time, and so we can give us a little bit of experience for planning for next year.
Right.
Yeah, I
But
think it was
like
just
this year, we went into it and like it's just like there was no end in sight, and there
Hmm.
kind of still is no end in. Well, there kind of it, and still. I mean, we're nearing the end potentially, but
we're only
I'm
halfway
still very
through.
hesitant if there really is an end in sight.
We're halfway through, baby. We'll make it.
Yeah.
But it'll be no
Halfway there.
different because summer is just dread. We can't do shit. We can't go nowhere. I mean, hopefully with the turn of more vaccines coming up, we could do stuff.
I feel like by summer we could. I feel like if things get better, start getting better by March, which I feel like. I mean, I don't know. You don't know. No one knows. Even the people who think they know, they don't know because everything
Yeah.
changes.
Everything is
But
constantly changing. Yeah.
I feel like in March, hopefully things will get better, and if it just continues to get better, then by summer we'll be able to hang out in at least small groups. But and then I would hope then by September and fall that we'd be back in school. But I it's hard to be super optimistic about it.
Yeah. You kind of just got to take it as it is and go with the flow, even if that flow may be a goddamn raging ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in when the people who get super excited for it, like yeah, let's go back to hybrid, let's do it as soon as possible. Is I don't get the logic of hey, things are getting better, let's push it.
Nah, that's just going to
Things,
make it worse.
Well, I was talking to one of the teachers at our school, and she was saying that like 25% of all still like I'm this is what I remember her saying. I don't know if my numbers are exactly here, but she was saying that 25% of students are failing
whoa,
all classes, and
whoa,
50% of students are at least failing one class.
Yeah, that's
That
oh
is
crazy.
my
like
god,
because like what I did is I basically asked her the same thing you just said, where it was like at this point, why do we even go back into hybrid? I mean, it's going to bring the numbers up. And she responded by saying, no, what we're doing right now was not working at all. Like kids are failing left and right. And
yeah,
it's, we will do whatever we can to get kids back in school because getting kids back in school is the only way to uh, get their grades up and help them pass.
yeah.
Yeah. And when you got like your shy introvert little quirky little person over here who doesn't want to talk in person
You
in the first
these
place,
quirky loser people who don't like talking to
these
others.
quirky loser people who don't like
These
talking, right?
Yeah,
Like,
quirk dog.
but it's like they don't want to talk in the first place, especially in person. So obviously they're gonna fail in school.
yeah.
What makes you think they're gonna do any better online?
Yeah,
Because
and it's way
online,
easier to just not unmute and just sit behind and totally disengage. They act like roll call and doing roll calls every once in a while is really going to keep people invested. But the people who really don't want to be in school and just how removed we are from the feeling of any like consequence from like not doing well in school.
yeah, what are they gonna do? Put me
Yeah, there's no
in
real threat
jail?
to just not engage.
Yeah, there's a physical threat when you're in school. It's like, oh, I don't want to get sent down to the office. I don't want them to call my parents. But
Yeah.
online school, you can kind of just kick back, mute everything, and do something else with no real consequence other than, oh, I missed notes that they're probably going to post anyways.
Yeah, and about that threat, that like feeling of any sort of threat when we were talking before about when this first started, kind of excited. I remember we were walking, me and my mom were taking a walk by the lake, and there was this mom who was talking to her kid, and it was like, she just got the email, hey, and this pretty much sums up how I feel right now. It's like, they're like, hey, Michael, just got the email. School looks like it's canceled for the rest of the year. And the kid went, oh, yay, yay. oh wait, I like school. That's pretty much how I feel. But
Yeah.
now it's like, at first when we were kind of like, oh, this is cool, extended vacation. School was kind of slow, anyways. Now it's summer. Now it's then there was the curve of, oh, this sucks so much. It's not fun at all. I can't see anyone. And now there's like kind of a rebound to, I don't care at all, because it's hard. It's in just the amount of stuff that's been in the news. It's hard to give your 100% emotionally to all of those things. It's just you kind of become. It's like a just an it's an emptiness. You just kind of feel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of got me crying in the club every once in a while, just thinking, damn, it may even be longer than intended till I can actually go back to school.
Yeah,
Like,
like when I remember though, like when it was first announced that we were like, well, we're not going back to school for 2 weeks because
let's
you know,
flatten
we
the
got this
curve, guys.
virus from China and it's probably gonna blow over pretty quickly. And I was pretty hyped, you know, I got 2 weeks off. I don't really have to care about school, and then
Yeah,
2 weeks turned into a month, and then I started, and then like about a month turned into the rest of the year, and then like almost 2 years now. Well, not 2 years, but
A
uh,
year, just
extended into the next year, and now it's
yeah.
like, God, why would I think that back then? Why would I be hyped for this?
I know
yeah. It
it's
was,
so weird thinking too. Like my stepsister having conversations with us at the dinner table, like back in March. Like we are watching the news, just staying updated, and then she's like, "What do you guys think about coronavirus? Do you think this is going to be a big deal?" And like everyone giving different answers. Like, I think we might go into lockdown for like month or two. I think this will blow over pretty quick. By summer, maybe July.
but no, in America, there's no locking down. It'll strip them of their freedom. Oh, golly gee, this goddamn coronavirus is gonna
Oh, geez.
hack me into the brain to download some Chinese malware. I, I mean,
No, that
it's
kind of
really
virus.
dumb. It's really
Um,
dumb because people. It sucks for people who are actually trying to make a change compared to people who are just kind of ignoring everything because they think it's a hoax. I mean, my family took it pretty seriously when it first started. I mean, so serious to the point that I hung out with my friend once, like during that 1 week, and then my stepdad was freaking out. He's like, "What are you fucking doing? Hanging out with another human being? Are you insane in this economy?" And
in this economy.
he just started freaking out, and it was, yeah, that was only a week in, and now it's like, oh yeah, you can see a friend maybe like once every week or so, just to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it annoys me too, the people who aren't following any of the guidelines and just everything's normal still. But what annoys me more is the people who really think that they are making a difference, or the people who think that they're doing a good job. And it's like, oh, look at these people. They're going to Walmart. They're taking off their masks. Can you believe this? And then we're all sitting at dinner together without our masks on, and like passing the bread rolls around at Thanksgiving with our
Yeah.
friends and family. It's like, I don't want to be here.
Can you believe these guys at Walmart, continues to have the goddamn Last Supper on Thanksgiving? It's so
Yeah,
dumb because it kind of contradicts each other. Like, well, I'm doing my part to help us entirely, but then you're really not because you're having people you don't know over.
yeah. And we were, me and my, like I said, we've been in contact with some people. My mom and my stepdad have been trying to be safe about it, and I don't think that we've been very safe about it, and it makes me kind of mad because you think like, why are we doing this when there's people in like New York who haven't stepped outside since April?
Yeah.
It's like, it just
When there's like
doesn't
a
seem
literal
fair.
curfew and you could get arrested.
Yeah. Like people in Italy, like when it started in Italy, they did it right. They had like, you had to, from what I understand, this is actually the thing about podcasting, is I'm gonna have to read things to see if I'm to
Yeah.
fact check myself, which
So
is
we don't
both
have
cool and annoying.
people. Yeah, so we don't have people in the comments or wherever this gets posted being like, well, actually, and then they just start going, start typing on their keyboards.
Yeah, dude.
We got to
Yeah,
be
but at least for
quiet.
now, no one's listening,
I mean, maybe.
so I can be
We'll see what
as
happens.
wrong as I want.
Nobody's listening at the moment. Let's keep that clear.
That's the whole point of a podcast, Silas. People listen to it later.
No, yeah, but I mean, well, we don't have any fans yet. We don't have any diehard fans yet.
Oh,
They're gonna
trust me,
come back
I'll get the
years
ball rolling.
later.
I'll get the ball rolling. Trust me.
Yeah,
I might be able to pull some
yeah. But
strings.
people in Italy, from what I understand, they like you had to have a form that you'd fill out, or somebody would have to fill out. It's like you could go out for groceries,
And
a
exercise.
doctor, or you couldn't leave your like house within a mile or something. And they
Yeah,
restricted you really bad.
they were so locked down that Pornhub was considered enough to make premium free at the time, which was insane. Because people were like, "We need to hop on that beat. We need to get VPNs right now."
Yeah, the stocks and VPNs is going way up. Let's go.
Yeah, my dream is for this podcast to be sponsored by either Gamers Subs or Adam and Eve. Once it gets big enough, you know what to do. Companies hit
Those are
me
some
up.
goals.
Those are
Yeah.
some goals. Hopefully, it'll
Yeah,
be
we'll be
18 by then.
sponsored by them, and we can get Joe Rogan to do the ad reads.
Joe Rogan. I wonder if he'll
We'll
even make
have
it.
Joe Rogan as a guest on our podcast.
We'll have Joe. Yeah,
Hey, Joey Rogan, what do you think
I
about this
honestly,
Biden guy? Eh?
Joseph Rogan.
he'd probably be dead by then. Honestly. Oh, Sleepy
What?
Joe.
Joe Rogan's like
Joe Rogan?
40.
Oh, I thought you were talking
No,
about
Joe Rogan's
Joe
50.
Biden.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about
Joe
Joe Biden.
Biden?
we're mixing up Joes, dude.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan is 50, but
And
I mean
he's like he's for a 50-year-old,
he's a
he's
god. He's not going to
juiced
die.
up.
He's not going to die.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
I
Man,
want
it's
to
insane.
I want to steal his podcast assistant Jamie so I can have Jamie. Can we pull that up?
Yeah. At first, we were talking about things that we shouldn't talk about on the podcast, and now we're just going to talk about other people's podcasts. Let's go. How much do you guys like Joe Rogan?
No, we're not. No,
Who do you want to rip off? who do you, what other successful podcast should we rip off?
I have no idea. I don't know. Shout out to anyone listening. If you're listening in a public
I'm
space,
shouting you out if
I'm
you're
shouting
listening
you
right
out.
now.
Yeah,
You are getting shouted out.
you get nothing except for being shout out. But if
Um,
you're listening in a public space, look at someone really weirdly for like 5 seconds. We'll wait.
what?
Now, if
Okay.
you're
And tell them
listening
you're
in your
watching it.
bedroom,
And tell them
scream
you're
for your
listening to the
parents.
podcast
Yeah,
podcast.
if they look at you, tell them you're listening to the podcast.
They're saying, what are you doing? Say, I'm listening to the podcast, duh.
I am listening to the podcast.
What are you
What are
doing?
you doing with your life right now?
Not listening
Hey,
to the podcast
get 6
podcast?
feet back and start listening to the podcast right now.
Before you can talk to me, you are required to be on the same page and listen to the podcast
Yeah.
podcast.
It's going to be really weird listening back to this once the podcast is named something entirely different.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to stick with the podcast.
I bet it's taken.
That's going to be great
I'm
for
sh-
search results.
I'm
No
sure
way
it's
that's
taken.
No way.
I mean, we came up with it in 2 seconds, so why would that not be taken?
True. Well, I don't know what else to call it. I'm not calling it the podcast.
Say it. Say it. The podcast is better.
No. That's the funny thing is because I'm going to edit it later.
Dude, you doing a lot in post.
There's already a lot of production involved in this.
Trust me, I got it.
Can we
Wow, this
put in
is
the
high-tech.
sound effect post?
This is like meta because I'm going to be talking to
Like some
myself in the future.
applause, some goofy ass sound effects.
We need to get a
Ooh.
screen share so we can all be watching YouTube videos and reacting.
That would actually be a semi good idea if we could ever do
That
that.
actually pisses me so much when in podcasts they're like watching a YouTube video and reacting to it. Like they did that. They used to do that on the H3 podcast a lot.
They still do
Ethan
it.
you'd be watching like some Jake Paul video and you'd be like, "Look at this dumbass." I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I listen to podcasts, I'm usually watching it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually if there's a visual, I'm usually watching it.
I usually like listen to them when like I'm doing stuff, like if I'm doing homework or something.
Yeah, well, I do too, but I don't do my homework. I just watch. I say I'm going to do homework and listen to this podcast, and then I'm watching it.
Yeah, that's
Slippery
what you do.
slope.
Speaking of podcasts and trying to get a group conversation, trying to figure out what to talk about. What podcasts have you guys started listening to this year or last year? I guess during COVID.
Official podcast with Moist Critical and some other people that I don't know of.
Just some YouTubers.
I think so. I don't
Yeah.
know. They're
Those
irrelevant.
are-
They're irrelevant. I can speak.
What do they talk about?
I don't know. They just talk about whatever they want. They had Belle Delphine on their podcast. That was a good episode.
Mm,
Mm.
some
Some
really interesting
moments.
stuff. What about you, Leo?
I haven't listened to any podcasts in a while. Uh, I used to listen to the H3 podcast though. It's kind of hard to listen to sometimes nowadays, and
Yeah,
sometimes I'll watch like clips from the Joe Rogan podcast because they're just pretty interesting. He has some pretty cool guys on the podcast, and it's like God damn, he had like John Snowden on it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, he has some great guests, and I've just started this last year. I've been getting into the Joe Rogan podcast a lot. I think a lot of his guests are cool, and it's just even if stuff you don't. I think you guys. I know we've talked. You guys think that he doesn't make very good points. He has some bad takes, and yeah, he has some bad takes. But I think he also has some really good takes
Yeah.
that I like.
Yeah, he's kind of an everybody's man. You
For
know, everyone can relate to him.
for
Everyone can find something about them, something
something,
about him that they like.
something. But there's people on Twitter who really hate Joe Rogan.
There's
Yeah, well, fucking
there's people
Twitter.
who hate everything on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe I just follow a lot of the same people who have the same ideologies.
Mm,
Maybe I should change that. But I think that I'm always confused because I'm like, what is the general consensus on Joe Rogan? And it seems like a very polarizing thing to a lot of people.
maybe.
Yeah.
I hate to cut it short, but we're coming around the 40-minute mark. Yep. Maybe we're a little early, but I just kind of wanted to give the viewers or listeners a little inside look on what we'll be doing. So the blank space podcast, we'll edit that in post. It's gonna have like a lot of different people. Like today, I have Silas and Leo.
Blank
Maybe some other day, I'll have.
podcast.
It's gonna be like a rotation. Whoever wants to come on can come on. I don't really care. You just gotta tell me. We can talk about anything that isn't too touchy or controversial because I don't want people to
We
find
were
this
just talking about
association.
Joe Rogan, dude.
Okay, but we weren't talking. We were just talking about Joe Rogan as a person, not anything he's talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I said he has some good takes, and that's why we're going to get me canceled.
sorry, Silas. We can't be
Yeah.
associated with you anymore.
Yeah. That's my biggest fear, dude, in the world. It's just like doing something dumb on the internet that I'm just going to bite me in the ass later.
Yeah, see, the solution to that is deleting whatever you got canceled on and not giving a fuck and moving on with your life.
Well, that's what I'm. Well, people screenshot stuff or retweet stuff or share stuff. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm gonna keep this on my hard drive for the rest of my life, and then when I hear that you're trying to get a job, Silas, I'm gonna send that to your employer, and I'll be like, "Look at this dumbass! You're really gonna hire him?"
man,
Yeah,
there's some
God,
certain things.
I just hate cancel culture. If you're part of the cancel culture community and you're listening to this, you can just leave. I don't want you
In
here.
the
I don't want
community.
your smelly ass on this platform. Okay?
I feel like some people need to get canceled and other people don't. But I think as a whole, the whole movement, yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Yeah. You can just leave right now. I don't.
Some of the far extremists, some
What are
people
you
like try
still
to.
doing here? I just said
Man,
leave.
I shouldn't have said anything because now it's like pissing me off that I can't
Why are you
elaborate.
still talking? I said leave. Get out.
Um,
I'm joking.
um,
I thought you would have gotten that. I made
I,
it a little awkward.
I did
Get
get
it?
it, but I was trying to play along. I mean,
Just
that's
kind of
kind of
just
the joke, right? I was helping you. Was I
no,
supposed to say, are you joking?
no. God, this is scuffed. People will like it. I hope.
Yeah,
Question
people,
mark. I honestly, if this does make any kind of traction, whether it be good or bad, I wonder what the age range will be. Because I know people of our age probably wouldn't have the attention span to listen to what we got going on. It's like 34 minutes now.
Would older people? Okay, all right.
I don't know. It's because like when I talk to people about podcasts, they're just like, "Well, I'm not gonna listen to that. That's what is that? 40 minutes? Outrageous! They don't
Yeah.
have."
I don't know. I think I never have like watched a podcast like that is the main thing that I am doing. It's always been like a side thing, like a background thing.
Yeah,
I'll listen to it while exercising or whatever else.
that is weird. Not that you do that, but it's just like I'm pretty sure the people on TikTok
Do you
don't.
watch podcasts like that? Do you just like sit down and be like, I'm gonna watch this now?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, one podcast that I listen to, the Misfits podcast, they have all their stuff on video now on Spotify, so I do that sometimes.
Oh wow,
If I
that's
want to
cool.
see Mia Malkova talking to, I don't know, Swagger Souls about her butthole fleshlight and swinging it around, I want it. I think that's funny, and I want to see it.
Let's go.
Uh, this is good topics of
Yeah.
conversation. I feel like
Well,
some
we're
podcasts are
around.
just.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
I mean, is it gonna end? Is this the closing bit? Five
This is.
minutes in?
Yeah, I'm thinking this is the closing bit. We've been going for a strong
Okay.
36 minutes.
Okay. Well, just talk for another 5 minutes, and then we'll just close it out at around 40.
Everyone just be quiet, and this will be like when you let a letter go on, and then you color it white on a document, so it seems like you met the word minimum on an assignment.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do we still have to be quiet?
No, I think we just close it out now. This has been a good sesh.
Yeah.
So
Good pilot. Good pilot
this is a
episode.
good pilot episode. Hopefully, it takes off.
Hopefully the our label will take this as a good pitch, and they'll
Yeah, hopefully.
It's funny. I
give
wanted to
us
ask, hey, do you guys
bucks.
want to like still talk after this? But I was like, well, we should have just said that during the podcast if whatever we're gonna talk about.
Oh, I don't know. We'll probably talk about it later. But this is the closing bit.
Wait,
Um,
is the podcast still going on? Why did we shut up?
no, this is the closing bit.
You told us to stop
If you
talking,
shut
and
the
then we
fuck up,
did.
we'll close the goddamn podcast. We good? We good? All right. Well, thank you for listening to the blank blank space podcast. I had Leo and Silas with me today. You guys have anything to add?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah. Bye.